Yeah.
I clicked it.
Hi, welcome to another episode of That's the Thing Overture. That's the Thing 2 Overture, even.
Yeah.
It is Thursday, August the 22nd,
Yeah.
and it is episode 80.
Today, aka tomorrow, will be that'll be when they're doing the fire alarm inspection on all the apartments. Which means they have to come in and press the button to make sure the fire alarms are working.
Obviously, I will never say renting is better than owning a place, but
Yeah.
it's very nice that you can just have other people who are responsible for your garbage.
That's one of the things my dad is really thrilled about is not having to do that.
It is our we had a issue with our plumbing where like after like if we both showered back to back or like did laundry, there would suddenly be standing water in the dishwasher where there was a clog and it would back up, and that was the quickest place it could back up and get out to. And like it never leaked out of the dishwasher, but then we just have standing water in the dishwasher. And
I kind of. No, go. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, so I was just gonna say, so then like we put in the plumbing order and they send a guy out and he's just like, oh yeah, they really need to redo all of their plumbing. I believe the phrasing he used was uphill plumbing is what they had going on in our rental unit.
Yes.
Always love to hear when a landlord is going to be out money.
I'm running through that right now because our washing machine just broke, and
Yeah.
it is really, once again, it is really nice that I just have to call one guy,
Mhm.
and it's taken care of. I don't have to pay for
Uh-huh.
anything.
And it's also nice. We have a pretty responsive team. So that's nice
Oh
too.
yes,
It's like we're not earning it. It's like, oh yeah, this isn't costing me, more than what I'm paying for rent, but I'm also now
yeah.
having to pay time to contact and hound them and make demands. Ugh.
You didn't get the thing where your water heater blew up, well, not blew up but broke, and then the guy comes over and then he turns on like the faucet for a second and goes, "Nah, it's still fine," and you're like, "No, it's not." And he goes, "No, I turned on the water. It was still fine. It's fine. I don't have to do anything."
You're getting paid to do this.
No, it's fine. No, we don't need to do it. No, it's fine.
Oh, man.
I remember because we had to argue. Well, that was I was at the other apartment. I had to argue to tell them that yes, the water heater was not working because they turned on the water and it was like lukewarm because it was like hot outside. You know how it gets.
Yeah, geothermal.
And
Oh,
he was just
man.
like, "No, it's fine. I turned on the sink. I put my hand under it. It wasn't ice cold. That means the water's fine." Yeah, we
What,
don't.
it's 98 degrees out? Who cares? What's that have to do with this?
Yeah, what? No. Yeah, we didn't have that. That's aggravating. How
Yep.
Drew, regale us about the PlayStation 5 problem.
Okay, so I got PlayStation 5, and this happens because, you know, um, yeah, since they've started to become more common and easy to get, I've been thinking like, oh, should I get a PlayStation 5? I don't really need a PlayStation. Nothing I'm gonna play is gonna be exclusive to the PlayStation or demanding enough to warrant a PlayStation. Well, we got Hogwarts Legacy, and Kelsey got to play that on her friend's place on a PS4 Pro first.
Ah.
So when it came to playing it at home, there were noticeably worse load times.
Oh
And
no.
maybe graphics, but I can't really speak to that one. Um so suddenly it was a conversation again of, oh, now PS5 is now on the table.
Ah, yeah.
And so it's like, okay, well, let's see where has one. And Best Buy did not, but Walmart did. And it's like, oh, well, let's just order it on the app. I could use my PayPal credit, which, if you don't know, PayPal credit's nice. anything over $100 gives you like 6-month payoff period with no interest. So it's
That's
builds
pretty
credit
decent.
and doesn't cost anything extra.
Oh, damn, that's great.
Yeah. So I did that, and we go to Walmart to pick it up, and it's supposed to be new, and we get a box that's pretty suspect.
Uh-oh.
Like, but it's like, oh, whatever, I don't care. The guy brought this out. I'm not gonna like make him take this back. It's as long as it's fine, it's fine. So we load it up and turn it on, and well, it's in Spanish,
Yeah.
and it's asking me to like sign in as the user who's already like had this console before, so it's clearly not new.
Yeah.
And so
It's not
you
even
have-
refurbished. What the hell?
Yeah, like they didn't clear the system or anything. So I'm very confused of like, this is garbage. Come on, y'all, what are you doing? But
If you had told me that, oh, this was at GameStop, I would 100% believe you.
Oh, yeah.
What? Walmart?
no, this, and so I have to Google like how to reset the language on a PlayStation 5 because I don't read Spanish. I can't
Hell
navigate
yeah.
to the language menu. And from there, I get it reset, and I finally like factory restore defaulted. And like, you know how Sony's really bad for like on the home screen, it'll always give you like their advertisement like block that you have to regularly delete.
Yes.
So I kept doing that for The Last of Us 2, and I was like, I don't care about The Last of Us 2, and I'd delete it, and then next time we'd start it, it would have that same suggestion back.
be
I was like,
back.
man, the PS5 is stubborn.
Yeah, it needs those ads.
Yeah, it really cares about getting you to play The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, it needs it.
Well, so we finished watching the series Interview with the Vampire,
Okay.
and so we checked out the DVD for the old movie to watch that. And so when I go to eject it out of the PS5 or to put it in, it won't take the disc. And I was like, what do you mean it won't take the disc?
Oh, is there
And so I
already a
hit
disc in
eject.
there?
Yes, The Last of Us Part 2 was already in there.
Oh, hell yeah, you got a free game.
And so it's the guy who returned it. Or I'm guessing a kid whose family's returned it and didn't bother to see if his games were still in it.
Ooh.
So it came with a free PS4 copy of The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, if you ever want to play The Last of Us Part 2.
Hey, you got
But
a free one.
that's the problem. I'm just like, this sucks. So if anyone wants a copy of The Last of Us Part 2...
Oh, I don't want one. Not at all.
Yeah.
Sorry, that wasn't a ew at that, but it was an ew because I just saw a Cybertruck.
Yeah! Okay,
Y'all
I
get-
love... No, that's the
Y'all get
reaction.
more of those up there?
Yeah, there's like one or two that's
Yeah.
around. Was it the orange one or the regular one?
Kevin, there are 4 now.
There are 4. I only thought I saw one regular one and I saw the orange one. There's one that's like orange.
There's 3 locally, and then there's 1 in Duffield.
Oh man. Although I do like the idea where like whenever you see one of those, it's like universal point and laugh and like look at this asshole. Like
Problem is, like, I'm just outside Austin, so you regularly see them now.
But to me, like no other car has been like, look at this jerk off. Like
Yep.
none of them. Even like
Yep.
even like a old guy driving sports car trying to like overcompensate, I think has less of the look at this jerk off factor.
Yeah, because it's still like, at least the sports car is cool.
Yeah,
and
it's
also
cool
good at
looking.
what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
The Cybertruck. God, did you see the video of the guy who has like the trailer?
It just
that's
rips it
hauling?
off.
Yeah, and it just breaks the frame in half.
He's like, "Oh, you can't just fix this."
It's like, what is?
Oh, God.
Oh.
No.
But I think only like 2,000 of those things have been sold.
I think so. It's like under
It's low.
It's 1,000 at least.
It's enough
That's
where
why
you'll
he needs. That's why he needs tariffs. to help prevent the electric vehicles from other countries that are good.
What's a
Those-
dog?
The sick ass Chinese electric ones that I
God,
would
that
really
thing's-
want.
It's got like 4 separate motors on each engine, so it can just like 180 in place.
Oh yeah, I saw
It's so
that.
awesome.
God.
Driving like a sci-fi vehicle. That's what I want.
I finally got a new car after getting totaled
Oh hell
last
yeah!
month. I got a nice little Hyundai Elantra,
Nice.
Ooh.
and like, it's new enough to have like, backup cameras and stuff, but it's old enough that it only has clicky buttons. There's none of the like. haptic
Oh
buttons.
yeah, you don't have like the touchscreen or anything.
It does have a touch screen, but everything else is all buttons. Like that's the like flush button where you just
No,
touch
like
it
a
and,
good
like,
button.
The electricity circuit.
Yeah.
I hate those. Those suck. And you're like, did I push it? I don't know.
No, it's
this has real buttons.
It's like the crap on the some PlayStations where you have to like, I think the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Where you have to like put your hand on it and you just kind of have to like press against it and hope it works. Like, no, I just want the on-off button.
You just slide your finger around and wait to see if a light dims and then brightens or not. And you're like, this sucks.
Yeah,
I hate this.
It's terrible.
Not only does it cost more than just a regular button, it's also worse.
I am always on the lookout for, I want my things to have as few failure points as possible.
Oh.
I do not like failure points where it's like, look at this cool looking thing. And it's like, yeah, but if it breaks, it's impossible.
Yeah.
It's why I'm always afraid of like...
Tell us about your Ford Focus.
God, I hate that car. I hate it.
With its one critical failure point.
It has multiple critical failure. That stupid car. That stupid car. But we're still driving it because it's...
Yep.
It's not dead yet.
Yep. Fix it again, Tony.
Yeah. But that's...
Still, it's like you're thinking of a Fiat, and then you just go silent for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
You can see him mouthing I-A-T.
Alright. I want to talk about important news. Unless, Nolan, you have anything to talk about that's not nerd garbage.
Oh, not really.
Okay. Number one, I want to talk about McDonald's X Hello Kitty.
Which one do you want?
I want the Hello Kitty Dark Magician.
That's the safe pick.
Like, that's
The correct pick is Exodia. You always go Exodia.
Like, but there's some other good ones. Like, let me look at so basically
the
Happy
edgy penguin. The edgy penguin is Red Eyes.
Yeah, I like Frog as Karibo is pretty good. The Dark Magician Girl, like, honestly, you can't go wrong. I don't think you could go wrong with any of the picks. They are all good. You get all the good Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. You got Dark Magician. You got Blue Eyes. You got Dark Magician Girl. You got the Egyptian God cards and Time Wizard. Like, that's the good ones. You're good to go. But I'm thrilled. Well done. Well done. I don't want to. I'm not going to buy a Happy Meal for this. It's always one of those things where I'm like, McDonald's, can I pay you the price of the Happy Meal and just you give me the toy?
Just buy it online.
I don't know. That feels dirty.
Someone's gonna have it on eBay for sure.
I know someone's gonna have it on eBay, but I don't want to pay them. Also, I kind of don't like. It's one of the things where like those things look like they're small enough where I could keep them near my computer and it wouldn't be a disaster. Like I know.
Can you hear me now?
Now you're back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know you're back. Yeah.
I could hear y'all and you couldn't hear me.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just go into McDonald's and buy the toy. Like, they will literally just sell you the toy.
Yeah, but then
No, I like the idea of Kevin having to go to McDonald's and they go, "Here's your 2 Happy Meals, sir. I hope your kids enjoy this." And he goes, "Yeah."
no, I'd say no. These are from me, and then you look at him
Those are
dead in
from
the
me.
eye. Look at him.
Kevin's gonna walk in and they're gonna ask him which one he wants. They're gonna know.
They're gonna be another one.
We're out of the. We're out
Fine.
of. We only have the winged dragon of Ra, and I'll go fine.
I'll take it, I guess.
I'll take. I'll take
We only have
Chalk.
Dark Magician Girl.
That's okay. I don't hate the Dark Magician Girl. I do think of the crew, it's probably the lowest one.
I want inverted Dark Magician.
The one that's like the blue with like the green hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the one with the
The
green
like
hair.
original art one.
Yeah. I watched like some Yu-Gi-Oh cards and I'm like, Yu-Gi-Oh's so weird. I think it's so weird it's still going on.
Did you see that did you see the guy for the Pokemon Worlds got disqualified?
I did not.
So I think qualified to top 8. I think maybe he won his first round in top 8. I can't remember. Off motion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like on camera, and so they're like, yeah, you're like, he got disqualified. He gets to keep his winnings for qualifying to top 8, but it's just, this is a thing for children.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, idiot. Dumb. What do you think? You're playing a baby game for babies.
Yeah.
At the Nintendo thing, they ain't playing.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo is not playing with their brand of Pokemon, other than having every Pokemon mainstream video game run at like 3 frames per second and look like a Nintendo 64 game. But other than that, they are not playing.
And so, of course, like, there's some idiot in the comments for the article who's like, he's just doing the fist bump motion. This is ridiculous. And it's like, no, he's clearly not. It is clearly a handy motion.
Yeah. He's filleting the Charizard. Live on camera. Okay, Nolan has to go. Bye, Nolan.
Bye, Nolan.
He is gone.
All
All right.
go fillet to Charizard.
Yeah. I mean, we all have to one of these days. That's what you get for being a Gen 1 Pokemon fan.
Mm-hmm.
His Game Freak is presenting you Charizard, and they expect you to do it.
Oh my god. Is it a... I don't know what comic it is, but you know the edit I'm talking about.
Yes, with like the woman, and she's like looking at
On the
Charizard.
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like putting her hand down her pants because he's like, she loves
Yeah.
Charizard so much.
Mm-hmm.
I was never a Charizard kid. I was never ever a Charizard kid.
Oh, I love the Dawn Lizard.
Lizard Dawn.
He's so cool.
Well, I understand why the Charizard exists as the because like your other dragon was Dragonite, who I think is kind of lame.
Mm-hmm. Very lame.
So you basically you're done. You're like, all right, Charizard looks like a dragon, and then you have Gyarados, who is cool. I liked Gyarados a lot. Big fan. But no, Dragonite.
Mm-hmm.
No dice, Dragonite. No dice. I appreciate Dragonite a bit more. As the roster has filled out to like over 1,000, where I'm like, okay, there's room for you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, I was not a Dragonite fan.
It's just the problem is Dratini and Dragonair are so good.
Oh, they are top 10.
And then
top
you
10.
throw that in the trash for Dragonite.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest downgrades I've ever. It's still one of the biggest downgrades.
Mm. And then they did it again in X and Y with Goomba or whatever.
Yeah, Gudra.
Mm-hmm.
At least I feel like that one is less overtly offensive because you're at like 600 Pokemon. Where once again I'm like fine. Because you have Salamence. I think Salamence is cool. There's now too many Pokemon. I don't know all of them anymore. But do you know who I do know? And that's Terry Bogard coming to Street Fighter 6
The
in
Hungry
September.
Wolf.
I think he looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought he looked pretty good, even when people are saying, "Hey, Terry." I think he looked weird in that like animated like announcement for season, but then like everyone kind of looked a little weird in that drawing. You know, like that art style in the animated trail. I thought they all looked a little weird, but in game, I always thought I'm like, yeah, that's what Terry's gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like Terry. He's the wandering wolf. He's hungry. He has this Garrow costume too, which is very good.
Yep.
Do you like Jacket Terry or Hat Terry better?
I think it's.
They have very different vibes.
But I think it's because of all the City of the Wolves stuff I've been seeing. I'm very much Jacket Terry at the moment.
I'm also kind of a Jacket Terry. I like Hat Terry. I like Hat Terry a lot. But I think Jacket Terry feels more tonally with like Street Fighter 6. Like
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Hat Terry is more like 90s Terry, and now we're in like older Terry. He's wearing the Garrow. Like Terry is coming in from Garrow to like hang out in Southtown.
Yeah. Also, I really like the idea of saying Terry got lost in the last game and wound up in Fexel instead of Street Fighter 5.
Yeah. I'd buy it.
I think that's very funny if he took the wrong taxi.
I mean, my headcanon is that now like SNK, Tekken, or let's just say like Fatal Fury, Tekken, and Street Fighter, and whatever Fighting EX Layer, they all take place in the same world. They're all there. Like Tekken is happening. King of Fighters is going on.
The Street Fighters just have their own issues to deal with. They can't deal with the Mishima Zaibatsu. They have Shadowloo to deal with.
Yeah, well, like the Mishima Zaibatsu, that's like the top tier level threat. Like that's like the international level threat. The big international level threat. Whereas like Shadowloo is like one step below. Like the Devil Gene showing up. But whatever. I think Terry looks cool. I think he looks cool. I like what they're doing. I like they're telling me all of my buttons. He has target combos that flow into each other. It looks like he has an anti-air button. EX Power Wave juggles on the ground. You can hit him into it and it keeps bouncing them. Carries them.
Did you see how Power Geyser works?
I did not see how Power Geyser works.
Okay, so Power Geyser is a level 2. And then after you connect Power Geyser, you can spend 3 drive bars to do Twin Geysers. Okay. And then you can spend an additional 1 critical art bar to do
the big one.
The full Power Geyser, the third one.
Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I love supers that are like you can juice them. You can juice your super.
You can keep cranking.
Like you have your level 1, but you want to juice it. You can keep on juicing it.
Throw that more in. Throw all your bar into it.
One of the things I know we don't like to talk about that the Dragon Ball Fighters, but I did like how Tien's like Kiko Ho, you could like sacrifice health to keep it going. I thought that was cool. Just like when you're fighting Cell.
There are a lot of ideas I like in Dragon Ball Fighters. It's just the game itself sucks.
I like a lot of things about that game, but I also dislike a lot of things about that game. But enough about that. We're talking about good fighting games like Street Fighter, universally good fighting game.
Yep.
I'm also like never-ending struggle where I keep fighting people in Street Fighter 6. I guess it's because it's been long enough where everyone is way better than me.
Oh yeah, that's just yeah.
So it's like all the scrubbins are gone. So now it's hard like Jesse routinely whoops my butt. And he is he has like ranked anxiety or whatever, but like playing him, I'm like, Jesse, you're like clearly high diamond low master. You are not. You are good enough where you are doing stuff, and I'm like, your rank does not reflect your skill level.
Yep. It's also like, I don't know. I just don't think ranked is actually useful in fighting games. I think what's more is to just do long casual sets with people about your skill level.
I try to view ranked as more of like a more quote unquote skill based matchmaking, where you are more likely to get quote unquote even matches when you're doing ranked than you are doing casual or just going to the cab and sitting down.
Yeah.
Because like the floodgates are not there.
Yeah.
But
All right, we are trying. Oh no, I didn't actually check to see.
Okay, good. Sorry, I got this C4, the Skittles flavor with 0 sugar.
oh,
And for a second, I was like, oh crap, I didn't make sure that I got a 0 sugar version.
it's like, dang, this zero sugar candy's really good.
Yeah, I know. Like, I've made that mistake before for something, and I was like, oh, this is 120% of my daily sugar. Great, perfect, love it.
I am always in terror whenever we get the gluten free pasta at Fazoli's, because
It's not going to be gluten free.
like one day I'm gonna be like, man, this pasta's really good, and I go, uh-oh. Currently, that has not happened because their gluten free is like the spirally pasta, so it's
that's nice.
It's very easy to tell.
Yeah, this does not. It's kind of got a little bit of a skittly taste on the back end, but this is a very standard energy drink.
Yeah.
200 milligrams of caffeine.
So what do you think about Dr. Doom doing a foot dive in Fortnite?
I think that's very funny.
I think I'm glad that Fortnite knows what's going on, or at least someone at Fortnite knows what's going on.
Yeah, it's funny to me that like Fortnite is more plugged into what the people want than the people who own these characters.
I think it's because they have to be. Well,
I think it's also I think the people who are making Fortnite, like the actual programmers and developers, also just like this stuff too. So they know what it's not like someone else negotiates the contract to get the characters, and then once they start making them, they're like, well, we need to put this in, and it's like, oh yes, of course, we need to put that in.
So what we're saying is the difference between Fortnite and then the Funko Pop game. When you look at the Funko Pop game and you're like, no, thank you. Whereas you're like, okay.
Yeah. But I just watched something. What channel was it?
You thinking?
I just watched a decent video talking about like the flop era of Marvel.
Oh.
And it was still a little too much of like, like it's still like I still enjoyed a lot of it, and I'm like, okay, that's whatever. But they had a lot of good points of like the flop era of Marvel, objectively speaking, isn't actually that different from when it was getting hits. Like if you look at it on paper.
It's just the gimmick wore dry. People were like, it's the gimmick. like I still believe every like Marvel movie is roughly the same. It's just you've seen like caliber and quality wise. It's just that like yeah, that gimmick's gonna get old at movie 20.
And the good point is, like, oversaturation hurt that, but it also hurts because at that point, so many of their movies are being made simultaneously that they've like Disney itself has tapped the well dry for computer graphic studios.
Oh yeah, they're overworked. Those studios are
So
like
there's some like just so those just get really awful. But I don't know. People seem to like that new Deadpool movie.
yeah, I guess I don't know.
I was gonna go see the new Aliens
Yeah,
because it's $5 on Tuesdays.
that's a pretty good excuse.
Yeah, but then the like showing that lined up with when I got off work and could go to like the theater that's like just down the road was still a $10 showing because it was like an LED screen or something. Like it was like a fancy projector, and I'm like, what? I don't. What?
Yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah, I do not. So instead, I'm just gonna wait for it to come to home video. And then I started reading reviews, and I was like, oh, well, now I'm really gonna wait for it to come home.
Yeah, like all the reviews are like it starts as like really good Aliens, and then it turns into like what you would expect an Alien like sequel to be.
It's that, or it's like, you know, there's nice surface level details, but it doesn't actually investigate or do anything deeper with it. It's just like, I guess, kind of a return to form, which is better than where Alien has been.
Oh, so it's the Force Awakens, what you're saying.
That's what even when I saw someone say it, it's like, I didn't think Aliens needed a The Force Awakens, but I guess it got a The Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens is basically saying we're just gonna get you back to status quo.
Yep.
And sometimes
I think it did that exceptionally well. And they kind of
they flubbed it.
Yep. I won't even say it did it exceptionally well. That The Force Awakens has its own problems.
No, it has issues, but it was like,
but it had good ideas too.
There was like a 3 out of 5 movie there.
Yeah, I'd give The Force Awakens a 3 out of 5.
I'd give it an easy 3 out of 5.
And if we compare it to what came before it immediatthen it's really.
Well, that's why you get that 3 out of 5. You're like, okay, we're starting at 3, so now I'm gonna want like a 4, then we're going up to 5s.
Yeah.
There's idea.
I mean,
there's some idea.
Yeah. I really like the idea of Finn as a character.
Oh, I liked the promise of Finn as a character, and then we never got it.
Nope, sure didn't.
And then we changed the promises of characters at The Last Jedi, and I liked some of those too. And then nope, we're gonna backtrack on that too.
Mm-hmm. Like it's just you can't make. I'm sure long-time listeners are tired of this, but a panel cannot make a movie. You need an artistic vision. And you cannot, like, survey an artistic vision out of, like...
Oh, you can't focus group it.
Yeah, you can't focus group artistic vision.
No.
You can't. It doesn't work. You need someone who knows it and knows the story that's going to be told.
Speaking of focus groups, did you see that announcement of, like, the animated anthology about all the video games?
No.
So basically, Amazon's doing like their CG animation, like a bunch of shorts about a bunch of various video games, which and also Warhammer 40K, but I guess that's kind of a video game too. It's vague.
Yeah.
But it's like
it's gaming. It's just gaming.
It's nerd game stuff, and all I can look at it is like, oh man, look at these series of like 12 to whatever, like 15 pilots that we're putting out there. Engaging on which ones you like. One of them's Mega Man.
This is where all the people who want like high fidelity reflective puddles should be working. They should just be get shoved onto these kinds of projects.
Which is
Like, there you
fine.
go.
That's what they do. That's fine. I don't need that in my video game. I just need the graffiti that comes out whenever Drive Impact is pressed to look good.
Ah, man, Street Fighter, and also City of the Wolves looks so good.
I think I was talking to Artemis about it, and I was saying that like SNK is graphical has gone from PlayStation 2 and now we're at PS4, which is quite the leap.
And like, there was that game is $60 with season 1 included.
I think I would get it if we were still having like local meetups. But
Yeah.
right now I'm like I'm now a one fighting game man. I'm gonna
I think, oh man, I think I really am more of a SNK person. Like, it really just anything. I hate not being able to run. It's probably just how much Super Smash Brothers we played in our life, but
yeah.
I hate that I cannot run in Street Fighter. Like, that is why I like Guilty Gear and why I like KOF. But I hate having to learn 3 characters just to play KOF.
Yeah.
So City of the Wolves, you only have to learn 1.
Yo, it looks pretty
And you
good.
get a run. You get a run. And Terry Bogard's there.
He is there. You got
And my guess is, I think a Street Fighter is going to get put onto City of the Wolves.
Oh, like 1,000%. This doesn't just go
Maybe,
one way.
Actually, I gotta say, if they put Terry and Mai in Street Fighter 6, they're probably gonna put Ryu and Chun-Li in City of the Wolves.
That would make sense.
That's why they're putting Geese Howard in Tekken 7. That's my call.
Although I wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind the current power couple of Jamie and Luke being put in there.
Do you ship them? I think I ship them.
I ship them. There's too much evidence. There's too much evidence, and like how they are totally like tsundere for each other. There's a blistering sexual tension in like any scene between those two. Like those two are like man, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat. It's like no, it's that drawn together scene where Walter's yelling, "Don't make me suck your dick." that's Jamie and Luke.
Yeah. Oh, I need that custom critical art for like Jamie's level 3, or actually, and also Luke's level 3, whenever it's at, 25% health. I need them to kiss instead of what they normally do.
It just says KO.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying
Jamie doing the throat crush. He just mooches Luke, and Luke is just like, KO.
he's going to the throat the other way.
And instead of like Jamie throwing the punch, instead of Luke doing the cross counter, he just, nope, it's a smooch.
Yep. I know, I'll buy it. I'll buy it.
Yep.
Listen, sometimes the Fujos are right.
Yep.
And they right on this one. It's like listen, that's the ship, and then Mana and Marissa. Double M's.
I don't see that one as much, but they just obviously don't get as much like
Oh, they don't get
thrown on them.
because there's some interactions and stuff where like it was either during one of the story modes where like Marissa and Manon's like, oh, you're a strong woman, I'm kind of, if you're strong.
I am also a strong woman.
We're both large, and we could just get a sweaty, go to the Coliseum, just start kissing, and you're like, oh, okay. Fight that tiger. But yeah, like that's going on. What other stuff?
Oh, Marvel? Have we already talked about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Beyond?
I saw some footage of it, and it looked really good.
God, it looks so good.
It's a shame it didn't come out like that.
I know. It's a shame that this is a community effort. Like, at that point, if I was them, I would just offer to buy this thing from the people making it.
Pull a Valve and just buy them and then have them do it. Because really, it's kind of like all that game needed, honestly, like was a
Just better
shader.
shaders.
One shader, and then like so many of those problems are fixed.
Yep.
It didn't even have to be a new shader. You could just put the Marvel 3 shader on. It's like, yeah, there you go.
You gotta do some like tweaking, I think, but that's all it needed.
Yeah.
That's literally it. Just, oh man, look how much of an art style it actually has now. But that is 100% I blame the mouse for. I'm like, no, it needs to look real.
Yeah, it needs to look like it. Because it's like Marvel 3 would look as ugly as Marvel Infinite do if it didn't have the shader.
Mm-hmm.
Because those proportions look weird because they
Yep.
don't have the shit. They're like, oh yeah.
But man, also another armchair quarterback Hail Mary call. I think they're gonna add 2 characters to that game. I think that's gonna be one of the later announcements for Infinite and Beyond. Is Max is gonna be like, oh, we have a little special trailer, and it's gonna be 2 new Capcom characters to balance out the left side of the character select screen.
No, that's some next level. That is some next, and I here for it.
Like, I cannot. The amount of work and effort they're putting into this game, I cannot imagine they wouldn't just take, like, Virgil from Marvel 3.
And even just put in, like, Ken. Like,
well, no, so Virgil works because you just take Dante's model and then just change the hair.
yeah.
And, like, the beauty of twins.
You could put Akuma in there.
Yeah, you can do Akuma.
You could do. That's what I'm saying, like Akuma or Kit, one of the other Shotos. Just
one
put
of the Shotos.
Just to balance out the roster. I'm saying the easiest
Super
way.
Like, that's what you do. I fully believe they're gonna do it. I fully believe they're gonna add 2 Capcom characters to balance out the character select screen.
That makes sense to me. That's one of the most aggravating parts of that entire game.
Like, the question is Virgil and who?
That's my money is either Akuma or Ken, because I think it's the easiest one.
I think Virgil and Shoto is the safe bet.
Yep, I'm gonna go on team safe bet. I'm just trying to think, would there be any other like easy throw in?
Cause like, oh man, okay, if we're already this far out, if we're already this far from the shore, I'm gonna say Ruby Heart.
Oh, so you're going like not even in Marvel 3.
I'm saying, no, we're already this far from the shore. We're already treading water for this dream. It is to go even further, and I'm gonna say Ruby Heart.
See, because I actually think the even safer bet would be like Roll. I think Roll in a Shoto.
Like, I just think Virgil just seems so easy to do to me. Like, it's the same idea where, yeah, you're going to probably have to take a model, maybe rip the model from DMC5, but I really think you could just take Dante's MVCI model and just tweak that one for the most part.
Do you classify Luke as a Shoto?
Yeah.
Because I think Luke would actually be an interesting choice.
He doesn't have a forward advancing kick attack.
No, but he has like a forward advancing punch.
He's a modified Shoto. He's less of a Shoto than Terry, but
yeah,
more of a Shoto than Mario.
I would agree. I would agree with that 100%.
No.
But yeah, like I'm just video games. Video games are happening.
Yep. Did you see anything from opening night for Gamescom?
No, that's like what I'm like nothing I really care about because it's.
I watched some of Jeff Gershman watching it, and I had to stop after Dune Man McKinsey or whatever.
There is a level of like there's still so many like video game stuff happening and going on where I'm like, okay, like next week I got the World of Warcraft expansion to start playing.
Yeah.
And that's going to be taking up my not Monday, Wednesday, Friday Street Fighter time.
Yeah.
Which I've still been doing. I stopped streaming my Street Fighter practice on Wednesday because it's a humiliation ritual. There's only so much just getting my ass whooped constantly I can take. I need a day off.
I need to start playing more, and I think I can do it. My problem is like, God. So there is a pretty good resource now. I can't remember what it is. To actually like learn characters and like learn stuff.
Yeah.
It's not having to go to a Discord.
There's also like
worst.
YouTube. I think there's some decent YouTube guides and stuff on there.
Yeah, it's just my problem with those is they just become outdated when a new season drops.
Yeah. But it's a lot of the stuff it's like, okay, I need to get by.
What is it? It's like Super Combo Wiki. The Super Combo Wiki is a very good resource.
Oh.
And shout outs to Jesse. Like I had stumbled upon it for Ed, and then like he like mentioned it too, so I actually looked at it, and it's actually a very, very good resource.
That's good to know.
Yeah. And like so before I decided just to switch to Manol, I saw an Ultra David post talking about how Ed is one of the characters who loses the least options in Modern, or as he calls it, M-Groove.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, well, what if I just learn M-Groove Ed then instead? And it's still like, that level 2 is a lot of work. And if you want to be good with Ed, you need to learn to do an optimal level 2.
Yeah.
Throw that orb out and get all the juggles.
Yeah, you gotta keep hitting them into that orb.
Yeah, and well, I'm just gonna pick a grappler with decent long range buttons.
And also, I just like her mechanic of gradually building up the throw. I think it's fun.
Yep. And she gets to keep it between rounds.
Yeah.
Suck it, Jamie.
Yep. It's good. She's cool. I like Manal a lot.
Yeah.
Also, you don't have to do 360s for a grab. I think that's a big plus.
360s don't bother me. I will say they are definitely easier on a joystick than a D-pad.
Yeah.
But also I am a masochist enough where I have done combos and combo trials specifically where I've intentionally had to shift between the D-pad to the control stick and back for specific parts.
Okay, I'm not there.
I'm looking at you, Xerd, Eno.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. Oh, what?
Yeah. There's some stuff where I've really considered it would be so nice if you could actually set like the right stick on a controller to be the movement stick, and then you could have the D-pad and that one.
I can see it.
Alas. I'm not going to open a controller up and move shit around.
No. I would also say Legend of the Galactic Heroes update. I'm still watching that show. I understand. Yeah, I think it was too boring for me. For me, like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it is, I would dare say, I'm at the right age because it gets real. And it gets real in ways that are like soul crushing.
Do you remember when Red Letter Media was talking about, I think it was Jay. Who's the fat one?
Mike is the fat one.
When Mike was talking about what he likes in Star Trek, and he either wants no action or only action.
Yep. This is a no action kind of show. This is a show where you get to see the boardroom meeting of the Alliance of Free Planets where the finance minister says this war is bankrupting us. We need to go for a peace treaty. And then the other party's leader says, well, whenever we have a good space battle, our polls go up by 5 points, and it is an election year. So I think we need to send another 2 million troops to the front. And then they take a vote, and like the finance guy and like the public affairs guy are like vote no, and everyone else votes yes.
Yep.
And you're like, you feel it like in your soul of like, oh.
Yeah.
And that's what this show is. It's like constantly that. And also men staring at like readouts of fleets, and you see like the ships go forward and back because they're like doing fleet movements. But
like, we are already, like, basically, we are already in a fascist country here, but Japan is like even further along than we are, and their creators have been cooking on these ideas and themes.
Oh yeah, and what's wild is this is like in the 80s. So this is like,
yeah.
And there's a bit where they go on a quote-unquote liberation campaign where they say, then the people will view us as liberators when we arrive. And you're like, oh, Lord. And it's also, like, one of the key things is, like, one of the themes of the show is, like, repeating history and not acknowledging it. Because to me, the hero, like, Yang Wen Lee, like, he went into the military to be a historian. And, like, he's, like, studying old battles. And, like, there's this plan where, like, this guy's doing his plan. And he goes up at the meeting. And he goes, do you realize you're just doing Hannibal in the Alps? Like, 1 for 1. You're doing it again. And he's like, nah, this is different, though. And it fails, like, the same way. He's like, no, you don't understand. You're stretching out your supply lines too far. There are multiple experiences where this does not work. And he's like, nah, we're doing it, though. Oh, it's incredible.
Our supply lines are different. You'll see.
It's also like, and then you hit like the Empire, and you see like the Empire's failure because it has all this nobility that is constantly backstabbing and killing each other.
Yeah,
like,
they're only interested in their own personal power.
There is like one of the episodes begins where it talks about the history of how the current Kaiser became the Kaiser. And how he did it was his other 2 brothers killed each other for the throne while he was out there, like, getting drunk and having sex with prostitutes. So he became the Kaiser because he didn't want to be. And you're like, oh, man. It's incredible. It's an incredible show.
Oh, yeah, and that reminds me, you know what's coming back?
Well, Hunter x Hunter's coming back.
Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
Talk about Battle for the Throne.
We also didn't talk about, I mean, we'll have to wait till Nolan gets back, but, like, Jujutsu Kaisen's ending in, like, 5 chapters, which I think honestly makes sense. I don't know where else you can go after the Sukuna fight. Like, that's, like, I was like, this is the it.
Mm-hmm. That's what the show has been building to.
So, there was, like, an interview or something, just while we're, like, wrapping up, was, the author, and he was talking about, like, this is either going to end with one of those 3 characters living or all of them living.
No, it was the main 3 and Gojo. It's either only one of them dies or only one of them lives.
Yep.
It's getting harder and harder to say Nobara's still alive. Kugisaki.
Oh, I think she's dead. I don't buy the theory that she's, like, secretly still alive. They're gonna, like, come in at, like, the last second.
To me, it's one of those of, like, they never, like, they gave the most, like...
They never explicitly said she's dead.
They didn't, and, like, they give the, like, normal line of, like, oh, well, then she's still alive. Like, there's a chance that she might make it. And it's like, oh, well, that means she made it. And then they have a Sukuna finger... in storage that she could, I don't know, drive a nail into.
See, I am always a big fan of the final beam struggle, and then Vegeta hits the bad guy right in the back to tilt it over, where we have our Yuji Sukuna, and then kabam, and then that's what tips the scale.
But
that would be cool.
But I think Megumi's gonna live, and no one else is.
See, my theory is that, like like Yuji becomes quote unquote the new Gojo.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's my theory of how it is. Like the last chapter
that
is
was
he.
Yuta. I think Yuta became the new Gojo.
Well, but I mean like the theoretical Gojo, like the
You mean
theoretical. The
metaphorically?
metaphorical Gojo, not the actual Gojo, where he's like, oh, he's now the strongest because he like defeated and absorbed all the Sukuna powers or something, and now he's out there.
Yeah.
Like that's because to me that's like a nice little final chapter. Is he's the new one and he's hanging out and goofing off.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to end it like that, which I would.
Speaking of ending it,
We gotta go. Bye.
later days.
Later days.